And now former White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham joins us live in the studio tonight.
Just mentioned in the Valley campaigning for Kamala Harris. Talk to us about your visit here.
Well, so far it's been wonderful. We had a great event today. Everybody was, a lot of Republicans there, which was nice. And you know, we just got a lot of honest questions asked of us about who he is and who she is and why, you know, you should vote for her rather than maybe against him.
Now, why do you not want Trump back in the White House?
Well, you guys don't have enough time for that. But, you know, I saw him up close and personal, and he is for himself. He's not for this country. I saw him many times want to not give aid to states because it was a blue state. He has said, you know, maybe the Constitution isn't that important and we should abolish it. He has said that, you know, he will be a dictator on day one. And having been with him for 6 years by his side all the time, he is the person that you see on TV, and we should all believe him. I didn't for 6 years, and I just want people to understand who he is now with what I saw.
There are a few Republicans like yourself, former staffers, who are speaking out against him. Do you think more should be? I'm thinking of the Rex Tillersons of the world. Where are they?
Well, I would say there's more than a few. There's like almost 50 of us who have spoken out, and I don't think you could say that about any former president. Yes, I absolutely would love if Rex, if John Kelly would speak out. I would love it if Mitt Romney would endorse Kamala. But I also understand the true security concerns that they have. I have dealt with it myself, and you know, Mitt Romney said he basically hasn't endorsed her because he doesn't know how he will protect his family. And I get that and I understand that, so I sympathize with that.
And you've also mentioned you don't exactly line up with her on all of the issues, but you're still willing to support her. Explain your reasoning.
Absolutely. You know, I think that I'm not going to say that we can have more bad policy for 4 years, because I think she has proven that she's going to reach across the aisle and be a president for all Americans. I think she has shown that she has, you know, moved some of her stances on abortion, or on, not abortion, I'm sorry, on immigration. And so I do believe she really has shown that, unlike Trump, she would give aid to red states, let's just say. It's okay if we don't agree on policy. We've got to get back to a good two-party system where we disagree, but people aren't afraid to disagree. They're not afraid that they're going to die, or, you know, that the president could maybe try to be a dictator. I saw him. You know, I saw him with Kim Jong-un. I saw him with President Xi of China. He thinks those people are amazing. He doesn't want to deal with our allies. We've talked about Ukraine. He has said Ukraine, he would make a deal. The deal would be that he would let Putin take whatever land he wanted. So I just, again, it's just, I feel like I should be talking in talking points, but I want people to understand I was with him nonstop for 6 years, and he's just not a good person.
Can I ask you about the personal toll it's taken on you? I'm guessing a lot of former allies are now enemies. Maybe you lost some friends along the way? Yeah,
I've lost a lot of friends along the way. It's been hard. You know, I get threats all the time, every day, but that's, who cares? Who cares about me? That's, to me, it's the country that's important, and she would be a great president.
And a lot of people, they're voting with their wallets. They can feel this inflation. The economy is top of mind.
Understood.
They're telling themselves, well, under Biden, I've done worse. Under Trump, it feels like I did better. I'm just going to plug my nose and vote for Trump. What would you say to them?
I would say, first of all, I understand, but also the jobs report just came out. Amazing. Inflation is actually going down. Actually, immigration on the border has gone down with them. So I think that people need to get out of their team, their Republican Democrat team, and really think about who you're putting in there. And again, it's okay if you don't agree with somebody's policy for another 4 years, but we can't have a dictator in the White House. And we could maybe have an actual dictator there.
And before you go, you resigned January 6th.
I did.
Can you just walk us through what was going through your head and what you saw and what you felt?
Again, you don't have much time for that, but I watched him, as I always did, and I worked for Melania at the time. I was her chief of staff, and right when I saw him say, "We are going to march to the Capitol," I just, something in me broke, because I knew he was not going to walk to the Capitol. And so he was telling those people to go to the Capitol. And then when I sent Melania a text asking her to try to kind of quell the violence, she was great at that usually, and she just said no. I resigned that day. It was a really tough decision. I was very loyal to Melania, and I resigned that day, but I haven't looked back.
It was a scary day for sure. Thanks for coming in today, Stephanie.
Thank you,
Appreciate your
guys.
time.
Thank you.